Hey Rebecca, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, Rebecca. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm so sorry that we had to change our rooms from Google Meet to Zoom.
No problem. I just didn't have Zoom on my phone, so it took me a minute.
Okay. Sorry about that. My
No,
fault. I should have kind of given it to you earlier.
no problem.
How are you doing, Rebecca?
Good. Good.
What's going on, Rebecca, today? How was your morning? What's going on? What's
Oh, we're under an excessive heat advisory all week. So had to get out early and take my son for a walk, but it was still real hot.
it's crazy hot. I'm literally I'm in
Yeah.
the loosest shirt I could find. Instead of my regular tea, confession, for the first few tea times, I forgot to bring tea along. And there were, I'm like, I'm drinking all kind of pop and stuff like that. I'm like, usually have a drink. And I'm like, what's going on with me? Like, it's the name is Tea Time with Uncle Mo, and I'm forgetting the tea.
Yeah.
So I finally have tea, and confession is over here that this was made yesterday and I forgot to drink it, so I'm still going to drink it.
That sounds about right.
My wife hates it, but I'm like, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So
Yep.
what's going on, Rebecca? So the heat advisory is going on, but what's going on in your personal life? What's going on in your family? What's going on with life in general?
Not too much. My husband is an assistant principal, so he went back to school last week.
Okay.
So he's busy. He's also coaching soccer, so he won't be home until like 9 tonight.
Wow.
So long days with the baby, but it's okay. He's happy boy. He got up early so he could spend some time with dad.
So now tell us, like, how old your baby is, what's going on with your child.
My son is about 15 and a half months old. He's into everything. He's been walking since he was about 10 months old. So he's
10
at the
months?
point. Yeah. So he's at the point that he's just like running around. He climbs the stairs when the gates are open and he just does whatever he wants.
Wow. So it's like I see the background. Is it the nursery?
Yeah. I'm in our playroom. He's taking a nap right now, so I decided to go to the farthest room from him.
And who did this more?
I did. I painted
out of here, Rebecca.
I did it when we moved in we bought our house last October, so we've been here almost a year.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
I have seen stuff like this on like Pinterest and things like that.
Yeah.
I thought that those were like, okay, these people know, like they are like professionals. This is beautiful.
Yeah, the top took some work. The bottom half was just a lot of tape. So
right. And the sky or clouds look beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a difficult part.
Amazing, Rebecca. So you have is this your passion or this is what you like doing?
I enjoy doing it. My husband and I both kind of paint. He paints miniatures, and then I kind of here and there paint things. I hand paint our Christmas cards every year and stuff. So
you hand paint your Christmas cards every year?
Yeah, except this last year. Last year we just put pictures of the baby on a card and sent it out.
But otherwise, you hand paint?
Probably about 25 Christmas cards.
And who are these lucky people who get it?
Family, and then a couple like family friends.
People like you, Rebecca, I feel like you guys give more than you take from the world. Do you feel that about yourself?
Sometimes. I don't know. I try.
Wow. I'm like, for some reason, Rebecca, I feel that this is such a theme with people I've met who deal with Lil Helper. All of us, and I don't think I should include myself, but all of us are one kind of a people. Do you feel that?
Yeah, Little Helper is such an awesome community. I think it's just full of amazing, awesome people.
Can you tell me, like, what is there any experience or experiences that has happened in the community or with you personally, or something that you've seen that you kind of struck you as out of the ordinary? Because I hear about these things all the time, but there are so many things that I don't even know has happened, and I get to know it when I have these personal conversations. So tell me whatever, if something extraordinary has happened, or if you've witnessed anything.
Well, so I became a first-time parent during the pandemic.
Mhm.
So I'm in like a handful of different like parenting groups, cloth diapering ones and other ones. And I think the big thing I see is it's just everybody's so supportive of, like, when people ask questions and people need help, everybody is just like willing to, like, I'll send you pictures, I'll like video chat with you and help you figure out how to diaper your baby. And
this supportiveness, do you see is with all groups, or is it more?
No, I see it so much more with Little Helper, because I think in a lot of, especially cloth diapering groups, I think a lot of times people are very condescending and mean when people are asking for help, because they've like done some, like if their wash routine's bad, they just get kind of jumped on. And I don't find that with Little Helper. I think everybody just wants to help everybody do this the best they can.
Exactly. And I feel that even with the community, there is not a lot of pressure to clot diaper.
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen kids, like I've seen pictures of kids being posted with disposable diapers, and I'm happy for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually happy. Not that they're wearing disposable diapers particularly, but that they feel free,
Mm-hmm.
that they know that they won't be judged for it.
Yeah. No, that's for sure another one, is just like, because I feel like everybody, occasionally you have to use disposable diapers, like issues come up and whatnot. And it's just, I've never felt like people making people feel guilty about it in this community.
That's amazing.
And that's honestly one of the reasons we, kind of chose Little Helper. Is one of the first videos I saw on YouTube was your video about like when to start using cloth diapers on your baby.
Yeah.
And like, it just took away so much pressure. Like, yeah, if you need to use disposables for a few weeks while you settle into having a whole new human being, that's fine. And that just made me feel so much better.
I'm so glad.
This journey.
Thanks, Rebecca. That is such good feedback. Because I've always felt that I don't think that it should be all or nothing for anything.
Yeah.
Like you using disposable diapers every once in a while, or even if it is for a few months, if you are going through a rough patch, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's your own personal journey. You do whatever is right for you and your child and your family. How does it matter? We are here, I feel, to provide you with the support and the guidance when needed. If not, it's okay. So has there been any singular experience or experiences? I still want to kind of know, because I find that these are hidden gems that I otherwise will never find out, because these are personal DMs that I've gone through, or somebody has helped you personally, or somebody has reached out or called. Take your time. I've all the time in the world. And if it doesn't come to you, don't worry. We can come back to it later. It doesn't really matter. Because I find that these are such beautiful little gems hidden.
Yeah, I kind of have to think about that one. I mean, I haven't like had a lot of like personal like DM stuff with issues. It's just mainly like on regular posts and comments.
So Rebecca, now I'll tell you one thing about myself. I think of myself as kind of a nerd, and people are usually very surprised when I tell them that I have not watched any Star Wars or any Star Trek. Nothing. Not one movie, not one episode.
Oh boy. I've never seen any Star Trek, but Star Wars is a big thing in this house.
So now I know that. And now I want a recommendation from you. tell me
Mhm.
something. Where do I start? Because I feel that there is a whole world to be discovered, and I don't know where to go and start.
Oh boy.
If
Let's
I were
see.
like this, so you think of me as this. If you were introducing somebody to Star Wars, where would I go? What would I go and start with to
See,
get?
I personally would say, and it's how I watched them, I feel like my husband might differ. I started with the first movie that was released.
Okay, and which
And
was that?
then,
Oh, so that was in the 1970s or 1960s.
yes, so that is, oh boy, I feel bad. I can't remember. So that is A New Hope, Star Wars A New Hope.
Star Wars New Hope. Okay, that was the first movie.
That was the first one. And
Okay.
then you got a whole lot after.
Okay, so if I start with that movie, I will understand the universe.
I mean, you would understand the universe in the way that it originated.
Is there any kind of lessons from Star Wars that kind of helped you in the parenting journey? Is there something that you took from it?
Oh boy.
Because anything I learn or like, I kind of relate it to my life, so it kind of go. I can go through it easily.
Yeah, there's always, and it doesn't quite. We can't really tell him right now because he's little. But there's the Yoda quote: "Do or do not. There is no try."
Oh my God, I use that all the time.
That's always a good one.
I'll I was running a business with my brother, and just recently I called him up and said that, Hussein, I don't think we are doing anything with it, and I think we shut it down. And he's like, why? And it's like, because we are do or do not. We are not doing anything in between. It's either doing or we are not doing it. It seems like we are just trying and there's not going anywhere. That's it. And this is basically my that I've seen the Yoda quote. Again, I know who Yoda is. I know he's a wise guy and this and that. Again, I can't, but I have no context other than that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he does. So I have a kind of popular culture. And I that is something that comes to me. Me and my daughter kind of, again, see, this is, I think it is a Star Wars reference. I am your father reference kind of. And I tell it to Zara, like, hey, my daughter Zara, and she kind of, to the point where she's annoyed, where I am your father. I will kind of announce to her whenever I go, Zara, I am your father. Like, Baba, stop it. Don't do it in front of my friends. So I'm going to have, so this weekend, I'm going to sit down with Zara and watch Star Wars New Hope. Do you think it's suitable for like an 11-year-old?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So Rebecca, how was that parenting journey in the pandemic? What was different than you must have started, like when you got pregnant, you must have thought, okay, this is how my pregnancy is going to be. This is how my birth is going to be. What changed?
So
after the pandemic?
Yeah, so my son was born in May. Yeah. So we had like 2 months of my pregnancy during the pandemic, and it was, my husband couldn't come to any of my doctor's appointments. We kind of like we had my baby shower right before all of the lockdowns started. So like we had some things, but then it was just kind of like we like panic buying, like I need to order, all of the like hygiene products, and we need to get all of our diapers in place. Like we need to make sure we have everything right ahead of time, so that there's no going to this, like there's no all of us going to the store to find things for the baby. Exactly. There's no shopping. Yeah. And so that was kind of a lot. And then my husband was the only one that was able to be at the hospital. We were fortunate enough that like we didn't have to wear masks the whole time. I had to be tested, but they didn't test him. Like, I think we were still early enough in the pandemic that they weren't like quite to the point that they were doing all of that. Right. But I ended up I was in labor for like 7 hours, and I spent majority of it in a triage room waiting for my COVID test to come back. So that was kind of unpleasant. Oh my God. But it was because I know like people have their whole families come up to the hospital and
Mhm.
stuff, but I'm like, it was so nice to not have anybody come see us there.
But that's the upside of the pandemic.
Yeah. It was nice for it to just, especially it being our first child, just like us being able to like figure this out on our own. And then it's kind of been hard beyond that, like having not being able to see family. Like he got to meet we were living with my in-laws at the time, so he got to meet my in-laws, you know, immediately. My dad very quickly after, and then like a few family members that live here in town that were, you know, making all of the right choices, staying home, being safe. But he didn't meet like my grandparents. He just met them for the first time last month.
Wow.
One of my aunts, she just met him this last weekend.
Wow.
She came in for a surprise visit, and like I think she wanted to kidnap my child and take him home with her, because she's like,
my God.
I haven't seen him for 15 months and now I want him. But we still have a lot of family that we haven't seen, that haven't been able to come out, and we haven't been able to go see them. So that's been difficult and not what I would have expected or wanted, but you know, have to put his safety and health first.
Absolutely. And Rebecca, did you, the decision to clot diaper, did you make it ahead of like the pandemic, or did you make that choice because of the pandemic?
No, we definitely made it ahead of the pandemic. And it was actually like years before we were even talking about having a baby. I had seen something on Pinterest, I think, just talking about the number of disposables you go through, and then talking about cloth. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I showed my husband, and he's like, okay, yeah, we could do that. And then once we were pregnant, I was like, yeah, I still really want to do this. And he's like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And I think we bought like a pocket diaper at a store locally. And he's like, this is not what I thought we were going to do. He was like, I was thinking safety pins and all of that. And then as we kind of looked at the pocket diapers more, I'm like, I don't want to do this. This seems like a lot more difficult than I want to. And then we found Little Helper, and I was like, okay, let's order the trial diaper. That'll be cool. And then my husband looked at your website and he was like, oh, wow, these guys are funny. And like, this is a lot of fun. So I think I'm excited to get this diaper. And then we got it and immediately ordered more. We're like, nope, we're just not going to try anybody else. We're just going to go.
So you got the first pocket, and then you just found Little Helper and then just stuck to that, eh?
Yep.
Wow. And did you feel that having cloth diapers during the pandemic made it easier, or didn't make a difference? Like,
I think it made it easier. I think not having to go to the store and buy diapers all the time was definitely a good thing. And I don't know why we didn't start from the beginning, but we did start using cloth wipes about 6 months in. And I'm like, we should have just done this from the get-go, so we didn't have to.
So you started cloth diapering at 6 months when your child?
We started cloth diapering when he was 4 weks old, and then we started using cloth wipes about 6 months in.
Oh, so the cloth wipes came later on, and why didn't I just get into cloth wipes? Yeah.
My husband was like, why didn't we just do this from the beginning? And I'm like, I have no
idea. Everybody takes their time, and I know people who bought diapers and didn't use it for 8 months because they were scared, and that's fine as well. Start at where you are. Really, there is no like, don't worry about being perfect at it. There is no being perfect at anything. We are still trying to make a good diaper. I still feel that there are improvements that could be made on the diaper.
Maybe, but they're pretty awesome as is.
I know they're great, but for me, I'm like, I need to fix this. We need to get this done. We need to do this. So there's still things that we are working on each and every product, and trying to see if we can kind of make them a little bit better. Rebecca, you started using the diapers. Was there anything else that you started using and you were surprised that you started using them? Like, oh my God, like you thought that you would never use something other thing apart from the diapers, and you were surprised? I think the cloth wipes is one example, right?
Yeah, I think cloth wipes are the big one. everything else just makes like, and not that cloth wipes don't make sense. I think that one was like, that's a little too much. But then once we started, we're like, no, this is fine.
This
But
is easy.
yeah, but everything else, I mean, all the products we have just make sense. Like we've used Lifesaver mats, both the original and mini, like since he was born. And then once he started eating solids, the Smockets and Biggie Bibs, it's just everything like in line just kind of fits
Progresses
into our
with
life.
the child's
Yeah.
progress, right? Like, yeah, and that's how if you see the growth of the business as well, like we've kind of done that. Like the diapers were the starting point, and then kind of build around it, and then build kind of see if we can kind of support other products with it, and just kind of see if you can make your life easier. And I think we are doing a good job. There were a few hits and misses with products, and that's what the testing is, right? Like we kind of throw things out and see if it works. And I always feel that folks like you, Rebecca, are so generous with us. That generosity of people, of our patrons, just amazes me. I'm like, I can't still believe it that we've lucked into people like you. We've lucked into people like you. How do I find more people like you, Rebecca?
I don't know. I tell anybody that'll listen about Little Helper. We actually have a friend who they're expecting their first, and she was like, I've seen Little Helper diapers in action, so I'm just going to go with that. She's like, I don't want to research any farther. These work for you. They seem really great. We're just going to do it. So we just ordered them. My mother-in-law and I went in together and ordered them a day pack and wipes to start.
As a gift or
yeah, for their baby shower. Yeah.
Amazing. And that's, again, I'm telling you, like the generosity of people in our like of our customers, the people that we work with. I am just amazed. I have no idea how. I didn't know people like you existed.
Well, I didn't know companies like this existed.
Even actually, that is one thing that surprises me even till now, is that people are amazed at what Lil Helper does. What was the most amazing thing that you found about the company that you were like, really, they do this?
Actually, it's the God forbid guarantee is one of the first things I saw that I was just like, that is, you put your customers first. Like that is hands down the clearest example of your customers and their children come first.
Yeah, I tell my, this is our way of actually, sometimes even I feel bad advertising the God forbid guarantee to people, like saying this is what we do. But I feel, and I tell people as well, I feel this is the easiest way for someone to connect to us, to know that Lil Helper is it's a different business. It's not just your random folks trying to sell something on the internet and make money. We actually care about what we do. And I feel, and sometimes I'm sure people get offended by it or triggered by it, and they don't feel like, okay, maybe they're exploiting this. And even I'm kind of on the fence, and I'm kind of going back and forth. How is the best way we tell new people about this God forbid guarantee and why it's there? It's not there for marketing. It's there so that we can give a service back to our people, to give them that peace of mind. And I know even I feel the same, but then there are these reservations as well, that how do we not make it look exploitative, because it's not. So these are things that even I struggle with. Rebecca, I want to show you a small project that we've been working on before I go. So with our pre-orders that will go out, I said that because it's late and we're kind of trying to catch up and stuff like that. This is a project that we've worked on for like the last 2 years. It's a book that we made.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, that's exciting.
We made a book, and Kate wrote it, Amber illustrated it, then we got it colorized, and we are going to send it out with our pre-orders.
Oh, that's so awesome.
and kind of nobody knows about it outside the business, obviously.
That's so fun.
So this is about a child called Sammy who won't go to sleep, and the parents try everything from taking him out for drives to like kind of doing all kinds of things that all parents do, till the point that they got frustrated and they said, you know what, let's take him to space. And then that's what they did, and still he wouldn't go fall asleep. They come back and NASA kind of throws a party for them where they meet two aerospace engineers who make a diaper for Sammy, and then Sammy goes to sleep.
Oh, that's so fun. Oh, that's so exciting.
So tons of little helper things you'll find in it, prints, some upcoming prints as well that you will some
So
elements from upcoming prints as well. So it's a lot. If Lil Helper were to make a book, this is the book we would make.
That is so
And we
awesome.
made it.
I hope people are ready because we were part of the crib sheet trial, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's super worth the wait. They're amazing.
Crib sheets. Oh my God, I'm so excited for the crib sheet.
I'm super excited to get more.
Rebecca, the way we've packaged it and all of that, you love it. It's so like I'm dying for it to come. And even for though that I have bad news. Because I learned it yesterday and I'm trying to process it and I'm kind of figuring out our shipment is still stuck in China. It's still stuck on the ports. It hasn't even moved.
That sucks, but
It sucks. And I'm processing it in my body to kind of figure out how I can explain it to my patrons. And I'm still kind of doing that.
I think most people understand that it's
Yeah.
super beyond your control and are
The
understanding.
problem is I still feel responsible though.
I know, but
And it is something that I need to figure out. I'm like, what do? I literally can't do anything. It's so big and beyond me. I'm like, there are no easy solutions now. I'm like, not forget easy solutions. That I feel there are no solutions. I'm out of solutions. I was like, can I go to China and kind of figure out? I'm like, really? Is that going to work? I'm going to stay 15 days in quarantine and then in China and then come back. I'm like, Okay, so I'm out of ideas. So I'm going to make that announcement today or tomorrow. So I'm still kind of bummed out about it.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait.
I know it is. It's so beautiful, and the way we made some changes on it and things like that. You love it. I hope so. So Rebecca, thank you again very much for
Thank you. This has been fun.
I really enjoyed it. I think it's a privilege for me. I kind of make it. This seems like I think my team kind of has understood that Mohammed enjoys it more, that it's not work for him. I'm like, and I feel that they will take it away from me if they realize I enjoy it too much. So I have to pretend that like I don't want to do this, please guys. Otherwise, if they figure out that this is too much fun for him, they'll figure out a way to take it away from me. Thanks, Rebecca. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate you trusting us and spreading the word about us.
Yeah,
I have nothing but gratitude for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Give a big kiss to your hubby from me.
Thank you.